Hi guys, nice to see you again. Today, do you know what I draw this big, huge clock for? So today, we're going to be worms and explore the clock together and explore our grammar. We're going to learn about the words that we use in time period. So in time period, we use different words than like we use in normal ones. So let's get to it. So me and you are going to explore each word. There are 7 words. I forgot to bring a 7 here so that we can count it. You see, there are 7 words that we often use in grammar that we like tell the time and period. So one is throughout. Throughout means like for an entire period of time. So like if the clock is turning round and round and round, that means that throughout the night they got. Throughout the night means that the clock keeps turning and turning and turning until it was morning. Next, 2 is out of. So out of means like we're out of time. For example, I plan to meet my friends at 5 o'clock. Okay? And so it means that we're out of time. So like you're late, and you need to hurry up. So for example, I meet my friends at maybe 5 o'clock. Yeah. So I'm going to a birthday party at 5 o'clock, like today actually, and it's 6 o'clock already. So that means that I'm out of time. I'm late for the party. So we use out of time if we're late for something like that. So 3 is we could say at around and about. So I'll be there about 8:30. Well, so we use that to see that when we're coming, we'll tell the time, or we'll say, I'll be here about 2 minutes later. So these words are very different. Around means that we tell the exact time. About means that you're going to tell how many words, how many minutes will you get there, or seconds you'll get there. So we don't tell the right time. You could say that I'll be there around 2 p.m. I'll be there about 2 minutes later. During. This means that for a part of period, during the meeting, for example, it's like it's in the time and the meeting sets for like 30 minutes, for example, like that. So like while you're in the meeting, maybe you'll fall asleep or do something else while you're looking at something like that. So that means that you're in the period of time in the meeting. But like everyone, so the event, that means that every event has a time, don't you think? So like my field trip begins at 7, but if I'm out of time, I will be late, right? But here's during. So during the field trip, we talk about all the things. So it means that we're in the period that we're going to the field trip. Instead of like during the class meeting, for example, we're in the class meeting, not the next day the class meeting will happen. So this one is ahead of. Ahead of is the opposite word of out of, because ahead of means that we're early. So like if we're late, we'll run out of time. But if we're ahead of everyone, we'll be early by 2 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever you want. So 6 is the within, between now and a length of time. So within 30 seconds, he managed to solve a Rubik's Cube, for example, like that. So within means that we're between now and the length of time. That means that the length of time means that how many seconds, how many minutes, how many hours, how many centuries would it take for you to do something when you finish it, like that. So the last word for today, between. So between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock, and it will be like something like that. So between is after one time, that means after one time, and before another time we use. So between 1 o'clock, like that. But we're not telling them between 2 o'clock at all. So it's not another time. We're telling after one time. So now you know all of these words. You could use them to describe periods of time. So that will be much more easier and everyone would understand better. So these words are very common, and the judges, if you use them in time period, the judges will understand you better and judge you a high point. So that will be great, don't you think? So let's go do the quiz with me now. Let's go. So you, everyone. So let's start with our first word. Do you remember it? It's throughout, right? You can say through too, because they have the same. We use all these words. Let's just say that we use all these words for time period. So throughout we could use too, but in suitable ways if you see it's correct. Well, just remember that throughout is an entire period of time. Secondly, is that out of you probably it's real easy for you to know because it's the opposite of being early. Instead, we're late instead. At, around, and about, they have different meanings. One we tell a certain time, another we tell not really certain times, but how many minutes, many hours, how many seconds we'll get somewhere. During means that we're in something, we're in an event, or we're in maybe a special event that has organized. Ahead, it means that to be early, we're ahead of everyone. And within means that we're between now and the length of time. Length of time means that the time that we finish doing something, like 1 century, 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 second, like that. And 7 is between. Between is very easy. Like between, you might guess that. Between is between something, a box or something that we're in the middle, right? But here is after one time. We're not talking about the others. We're just focusing on one time, like 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. We only focus on one time before the other. So let's do a quiz, everyone. So let's check how much you understand the system. Let's go.